WA sporting fans have turned up in large numbers right throughout the series, and tonight total attendance for the 7 games of World Series Rugby will pass 6 figures. We go out with a bang in 2018 on a game that promised fast-moving, free-scoring, full-on entertainment and has certainly delivered. Good evening, hello and welcome to NIB Stadium. The final game of World Series Rugby 2018 may well be the best, Scotty Favour.
This is going to be a super contest, Mark. We've got the Western Force that are treating this like a grand final. Tim Sampson has been pumping them up all week. And we've got the legendary Robbie Deans. He's bringing out the Panasonic team full of internationals, and they're getting ready for their top league next month.
The Western Force is certainly treating this one like a grand final, and you can see them pumped up in the rooms right now. Now behind us we can see Andrew Forrest. He is the man behind World Series Rugby, the businessman, the mining magnate, the philanthropist, and he was very keen to say thank you to the fans. Let's listen in on Andrew Forrest.
Who's given us the heart and the courage and the spirit to make the Western Force alive, to bring us back not from zero base, but from way behind the 8 ball. And you are now, you fans, the biggest single rugby crowd which always turns out in our country. How do you feel?
There you go. So Andrew certainly getting the fans off their plastic, and we'll be hearing from Andrew, who'll be joining us in the commentary box at halftime with some plans on World Series Rugby 2019. Scotty, the first time we'll hear about that. I hope we've still got a job.
Well, that's right, mate. Everyone's on the edge of their seats to see what is going to happen with World Series Rugby. So with Andrew backing it, I think we're going to be a go, but who knows? Let's wait for the decision, mate.
You'll be right. I just hope I'm safe. Robbie Deans has said some wonderful things about World Series Rugby since he's been here. And Scotty, there's no more credible voice on the planet in terms of world rugby. Of course, former All Black, coach the Wallabies, 5-time Super Rugby coach. He couldn't have spoken in more glowing terms.
The concept's great. The feedback I've had from those who have been involved in it is they love the game. You know, they love the philosophy behind the game. Not only the on-field in terms of speed and incentive to attack from any part of the ground, but the whole event. And we're looking forward to experiencing that, to be honest. Feedback's been superb. Our guys are looking forward to playing it. Obviously there's some slight modifications that just reinforce what rugby players love. They love to touch the ball, play, you know, have the ball in play for longer.
And Robbie's right, Scotty. There's been 30% more ball in play time in World Series Rugby this year, and the average points, 50 points per game. It has delivered.
It has delivered indeed. And you've got the new rules, you've got the power try. I know a lot of teams are trying to go for it, but in essence they haven't got it. Only the Crusaders have got the power try. But these teams are moving it because they understand it's about keeping the ball in play. Quick line-outs, quick scrums, it's helping with ball in play.
Well, let's go from outside, looking down on the drone, to inside the Western Force rooms. We're going to hear from the coach, Tim Sampson, pre-match.
All right, it comes back to that first word here, aggressive. Right, carry tough. You know what's coming at you here defensively. They're going to fly up off the line. Right, but with that comes missed tackles. Right, so opportunities to breach the defence or offloads, tips, rails. Right, you know what's coming. Be prepared for it. Don't get out there and be, deers in headlights. Just stay strong with your carry. Right, and we'll get rewarded there with that.
So there you go. We go inside just about everything on World Series Rugby. Scotty will be live, mic'd up live with the captain Ian Pryor, of course, as well throughout the game. And that's one of the great things as well that we've been able to bring to World Rugby and taking it in the direction it needs to go.
Indeed. There is, Ian Pryor being mic'd up has been a great thing. We've been able to hear from a leader, having backwards and forwards with his players and understanding what it's like to be a captain in the huddle. So it's a great initiative, and it's going to continue on.
Okay, so
Future of rugby like
Well, we're not too far away from it. We're really keen to go. I think I can sort of hear at the back of my ear, Andrew Forrest might have the 100,000th fan to actually come through the gates. I think he's just presented a jumper. There's not much missing. I did mention it would be 3 figures. Well, the 100,000 fan is through the gates. As the Western Force inside the rooms, not far away. They're just heading now down the tunnel, and the Indigenous dancers, we'll see them shortly and will be ready to go. You mentioned that Wild Knights team, full of experience. There are 11, I think it was, or 15 of the 23 here with international experience from the Wild Knights, and of course Berwick Barnes amongst them.
Yeah, indeed, and you've got a Wallaby, Daniel Heenan. He's played 2 tests for the Wallabies. He's in there at the lock position. There's chock full of internationals. In the back row, you've got Ben Gunter. He's an Australian guy. Mate, Richter scale, look out for him tonight. He's got a really big hit on him. And you've got number 10, Berwick Barnes. He's going to lead the way. But the real showpiece here is Fukuoka and Yamada, the wingers. They're lightning fast. And they are the Clay Ewan and Brad Lacey. Better watch out for these two.
Okay, it's not the Richter scale, mate. It's the Lima scale. How could you forget that?
Scale.
You might have taken too many bumps, I think. There's no doubt about that. So we'll see the Wild Knights in just a second now at the bottom of the tunnel. They're about to enter the stadium. They're here to play, that's for sure. The top league team, the best team in Japan, first in their nationwide comp. 5 times the Wild Knights, runner-up last year. Their season begins in just a couple of weeks, so this is their only pre-season hit-out. So there's no exhibition game about this as far as the Wild Knights are concerned. And as we talked about Robbie Deans, the coach, what a legend he is. He's got them ready to go, there's no doubt about that. And they'll take on a Western Force team, as I said, watched by some geisha girls. We've got it all going on here at NIB Stadium. A Western Force team that are treating this game like a grand final. This is enormous. And here they come, led by the captain, Ian Pryor. Atmosphere, Scotty Favour, as always, electric. Who wins this?
I'd like to say the Western Force. There's more emphasis on this big grand final. They've picked the same team, just Andrew Deegan has come in. He's gone really well, this kid. He's learned a lot from his Wallabies trial, and I think he's going to lead these guys around the ground.
Okay, so we're just about ready to go. The Indigenous Warrior dance now. The Western Force team stand behind the Indigenous Warriors. The crowd goes silent, and here we go. It's a perfect night here in Perth, Western Australia, and footy coaches, you know what they say, if you can't get a kick today, you cannot get a kick. An electric atmosphere. The crowd have turned up in number once again. The skipper, as mentioned, he's mic'd up Ian Pryor. We'll hear from him throughout the match. But let's now go up into the commentary box. Rod Davies, one of the 4 stars who's out injured, is with Ashley Morrison. Gentlemen, enjoy.
Thanks very much, Mark. Well, Ian Pryor is just limbering up, and it should be. We can just hear him giving his last words. And Rod Davies, I'm sure you wish you were down there, but you're going to enjoy this one.
I am, mate. I definitely wish I was down there. It's, seeing the set, you know, it's a beautiful night for rugby, and I just wish I was there.
Having played in Japan, what can we expect from the Japanese?
I think this club, Panasonic, they're definitely the premier team in Japan, and they're going to play a lot of expansive type of rugby, and I think they'll throw it around, so we're going to be going home at the breakdown.
Well, we've got the game underway, and good kick straight down the middle, just short of the 22. As it comes to Pryor, short little pass goes to Chris Heiberg. Heiberg driving forward. Force need to start this game well. Again, the tackles are good from the Japanese early in this match, as they will be throughout the game. Pryor again goes to the open side. This time it goes to Jeremy Thrush. Thrush gains a couple of metres, and then coming over the top, The Japanese, but they couldn't steal possession. Brackey gets an early touch, goes through McGregor, out onto the wing. Again, good fast ball from the force, but the Japanese up quickly, just as we heard Tim Sampson say they would be in the pre-match talk with the force. And a penalty against the force here. Will Japan take it quickly?
Yeah, we talked about that through the week. They're going to be tough on the ball. You know, they're really quick. They're getting up off the line quick as well. So you have to nullify that with the kick, maybe go a bit deeper on the kick and play down that end.
It looks as if they're going to go straight for the 3 points. Berwick Barnes has placed the ball, just limbering up and waiting for the tee to come out. We should mention, Rod Davies, that the reason you're not out there was not an injury playing World Series Rugby, but playing for your club, Wanneroo.
Yeah, it was, mate. We were up at Cottesloe playing up there, and just unfortunate, you know, I got landed on my knee, but, you know, I'm looking to be back for round 1 of the NRC, and I'm really looking forward to that.
So the tee finally arrives, and Berwick Barnes can line up a kick. Should be fairly straightforward for him, directly in front of the posts, just ahead of the 10-metre line. Berwick Barnes, of course, who scored the first try of Robbie Dean's time as a coach. That was against Ireland back in 2008. Can he get the first points for the Panasonic Wild Knights here in Perth?
I've rejoined you boys at the perfect time. Look at that, straight down the lens. He's kicking this right at you sitting at home.
And clean as a whistle, straight between the posts it goes. And the perfect start for the Panasonic Wild Knights. 3-0 they lead with just 2.5 minutes gone on the clock. That'll be disappointing for the force, Rod, because obviously they had plenty of possession, but they just penalised for not releasing.
Yeah, that's right. I think we just got to look to play down the right end of the field, and you know, going off that, I think we will.
Andrew Deegan with the restart. Goes high.
Advantage.
Well, advantage to Japan. It didn't go the full 10 metres, and what a break forward that was by the flanker, Ben Gunter. We heard from Scott Favour that he's a man to look out for.
Got very lucky there. I think it was just a hand and went forward, so very, very lucky. Could have went any way there.
Gavin, stability, please.
Good early touch for the 20-year-old Ben Gunter, the youngest man to have played in the top league in Japan. The first scrum of the night.
Cancel, honey.
How do you think Japan will go, or the Japanese will go against the force in the scrums?
I think they'll have no issue scrum time or more time. They're littered with international experience, mates. These guys are playing week in, week out.
Early test here for Graham Cooper, the referee. The 1-minute scrums in World Series Rugby means he has to be in control here. He has to hurry them up. Now, there's no tactics, Rocket. There's no using the scrum tactically, as I know you blokes like to do at different times for different reasons. Both captains know that, and Graham Cooper, the 29-year-old local product, has done a fine job in the last couple of games. That's what he does. He gets involved.
Well, that's what we want, mate. We want the game to be sped up. And we don't want to be dwelling on the scrum the whole game. So if he can do that the whole game, we will all be happy.
And the fans will be happy too. So the ball in the hands of Deegan as he looks to gain metres with a kick to touch. Takes him just over the 10-metre line. As we see the force line up coming up.
Black, you're on the line.
Heath Testman, such a key player in the front row. Tevin Ferris and Harrison O'Brien stand up. They're going to be busy tonight in the back row for the force.
This is the big one for me, 14 and 15. Clay and Jack have forced Peter Grant out of the team. The Springbok legend, he's sitting on the bench at the moment, watching Rod, because of the form of these young blokes.
Yeah, Jack he's a real rugby player, you know. He might look the biggest, he might be the quickest or strongest, but his instinct for the game is second to none. Here he goes here.
Lovely step off his left foot, and he's found a gap, goes through the gap. McGregor goes to the boot, kicks ahead. Going to be coming back, getting there first. It's got, touch there. I think it was Marcel Brackey. Not forward is the call, I think, by the referee.
Check it.
Well, I thought Marcel Brackey got there first.
What do you think, Rod?
he had a bad bounce, but he's just lost that. Very close.
How good are these images? So that the technical match official is looking at the same pictures here that we are, and right on cue, Jack McGregor. Beautiful, great flair. Talk us through it.
Mate, the ball did right angles, and he would have scored that if it didn't come on. But again, Jack McGregor, he's lightning. He's got it all, mate. His instinct for the game is really good.
Just knocking it forward. He doesn't get the ball down, and the ball does go forward as Bracky tries to get a fingertip to just keep it there.
You're the voice of region, Ashley. No try, is that what you're saying?
No try.
Here it comes.
Knock on.
I think the referee was perfectly placed to spot that one.
Knock on, it was. Of course, we are broadcasting right around the planet on Twitter. You can get involved at WSR. Use the hashtag WSR. And we know there's a massive audience in Japan on Twitter. It's bigger in Japan, Twitter, than Facebook. So to all those watching both live on Twitter and on J Sports, we're broadcasting Japan live on J Sports. They were happy with that result. They like that scoreline and like to see it continue to move to the right, not the left. But it's not done with yet. They're in a dangerous position.
Barnes trying to play that ball has been dropped there by Yamada. So Force have now got a chance to have the scrum put in 5 metres out.
Great pressure there from the Force. No doubt the Barnsley would have been trying to go for a power try, but he, the winger just dropped it there. So great position for the Force.
So important now that the Force get their scrum right. They set it quickly, and they get clean ball back to Ian Pryor, who's shouting instructions out to Andrew Deegan.
Crouch! Great shots from the drone. Have a look at that. And of course, Rod, you know the playbook. You know what they're going to do here, don't you?
I'm not too sure. See what happens. It's a good scrum by Panasonic. Got to get there.
By Brian Stander, he managed to keep possession for the Force under pressure from the Wild Knights. Taken forward by the Force. Quick ball needs to come. Pryor, short pass, taken into contact just off the ruck. Still be there, still available for the Force. Again, it's a short pass. Tessman breaks through the first tackle, looks to pop it up. Did it go backwards? Yes, it did, says the referee. Picked up again, this time by Leon Power, as he drives back by the good defence again from the Wild Knights. Pryor pops the pass. Bracky, ankle tap, goes to ground again. It's all the Force at the moment, but good defence, resolute defence from the Wild Knights. Made available again. Deegan has he broken through. High tackle. Can he roll over the line? No, he can't. Well, thought that was high. It looked to be above the shoulders. The Force continue to drive towards the try line. Pryor trying to see where the ball is. Eventually has to burrow down. And the whistle has gone, and it will be a scrum.
Great patience showed by the Force. Now that's probably 7+ phases, and the boys keeping ball in hand. That's what we want. That's been a big focus this week, is having patience down that end of the field.
The power of both teams that was on display there. We knew it would be. We played 8 minutes. What a true test of this game it is, as we again look. They are taking their time here, not for a tactical reason, just because in a technical term they're stuffed at the moment, right?
They are, mate. I'm telling you, this Panasonic team they're a great bunch, and they've been together. The nucleus of the team have been together a long time, so they're going to be good defensively on their line.
Let's see if we can hear Ian, or we might coming to a little too late. He's issued his instructions. We're changing by the second.
Pryor with the put in for the Force. Stander again gets his hands on the ball, pops it to Pryor. Bracky will get the try this time under the post. Perfectly timed pass from Ian Pryor, and Marcel Bracky salutes his teammates. The Force have the first 5 points.
How good was that? Marcel Bracky straight through. Great pass from Ian Pryor, but firstly it was laid by the props and the front rowers there. They did a great scrum for the boys, and the backs just showed their polish.
He had a massive smile on his face as he went over. A little point to the crowd. That may well be his fiancée, I reckon. You know better than I, right? That's where the boys are going. We can find out. Scotty Favours down there with Marcel. Scotty, come in.
Marcel, how are you, mate? that was a great try, but that was one that you just missed right beforehand. Good line though. How good?
Yeah, a couple of the big boys are looking at me like I just dropped the cup, so I had to make it up for them, and we just got a big job ahead of us, so next job, I guess.
Okay, so what is the next job? What do you need to do now?
Let's receive, take it, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Great work, Scott. So with Peter Grant out, of course, Ian Pryoft is the first choice kicker anyway, but he gets the 2, and all of a sudden it's 7-3, and that's a scoreline that the Western Force, the home team, deserved. The Wild Knights have really taken it up to them in the opening little bit, but magic rugby.
It's been good, mate. As soon as we got up to the right end of the field, we're coming away with points, so we need to keep on that and build on it.
A perfect response after conceding the first 3 points by the Western Force. And now it's the chance for the Panasonic Wild Knights, who, to be honest, haven't had that much ball in this opening 10 minutes. Most of it has been through the hands of the Force players, and it will be again. As Pryor spins the ball out into the backs, taken into contact by Thrush. Deegan now. Taifu. McGregor looks for the gap, drives through again, quite happy to run at the Wild Knights players. The fullback for the Force. Strong contact again. Driven back is Heiberg. Deegan spins it again. Good drive this time coming from Cameron Orr. Deegan, lovely little jink off the hips to Brad Lacey. Lacey gained a good meterage for the Force. Deegan again just slipping. That was unfortunate. Hopefully he's okay.
Just caught him high there.
High tackle.
The question is, it was high, but he slipped.
Definitely slipped into it, yeah. But as the letter of the law goes, you got to protect the attacker.
I think it was very difficult for him to pull out of that one. He was going round the waist, and Deegan slipped, but Deegan will now kick for touch. Not sure he's going to make it. Kept in play. Picked up now by Moria. And looking to take the quick throw, but no opportunity for the Force.
It was good to see the big boy Keane, wasn't it? Actually,
it was.
Ready to go, wanting to go. Again, another, the 45-second line-out rule in World Series Rugby, trying to encourage teams to do just that. Jeremy Thrush, the former All Black, was keen to take advantage, just not quite able to do it.
That's one.
The ball at the back with Heath Tessman at the moment, the man who threw it at the line-out. It's breaking up, but they've managed to stay together, the forwards for the Force, and they're driving up to the Panasonic 10-metre line.
Next stop.
Heard the referee say the next time it stops, they're going to have to play the ball. They're still keeping the ball going forward. Good play at the moment with Thrush, comes to Pryor. And Deegan loses it. Was just looking for the man closing him down there. Now Barnes, lovely quick hands, a grubber ahead. Running back is Lacey to pick up. He's going to be put under a bit of pressure. Does well, almost tripped there. Looked as if Sasakura put his foot out to try and bring him down with a trip. Got away with it though.
Let him go.
So the power trot is on, if they're good enough, and the bloke sitting between us, Ashley, he almost scored a power try for the Force inside this series, but didn't quite make it, so maybe this is an opportunity.
I've got to ask Rod, is there a prize for the first player in the Force to get a power try?
They all want it, mate. All the backs want it. So
Entry.
great kick chase there.
Some massive hits in this series, and oh, that was one.
Tevin Ferris timing that tackle to perfection. He just held off until the player's feet hit the ground, and then in he went hard.
He nailed him. Are you aware, Rod, of the Lima scale? Have you heard about the soon fast becoming world famous Lima scale? That would have rated reasonably highly. Well,
what are you thinking, 7?
And Brian Lima at the first opportunity to
he hasn't found touch.
teach you how it works.
Brian Lima, always known as the chiropractor, wasn't he?
He was. Just to iron out blokes.
Remember there was a hit as well. Derek Hochart was hit really hard at Subiaco Oval.
We look down from the drone.
Keep the gap, please.
Once again.
Gap's good. Gap's good.
just taking a moment again. It's the intensity of this game, 14 and a half minutes in, that these guys are really feeling it. This is a really great game of rugby. Got to earn every possession out there.
You're right, mate. It's quick. You know, the weather's perfect for it, so the ball's getting through sets of hands, and it's been a great spectacle so far.
Good solid scrum from the force again. Pryor picks up at the back. Deegan takes it into contact. Support is there for the force. Pryor again. Spins it out. Driven forward again. This time he goes the short side. Tessman takes it into contact. Driven back. Brilliant tackle coming from Ben Gutta. Still the force though. McGregor steps off his left foot. There was no gap for him to get through, but he makes the ball available. Pryor again. Jeremy Thrush has been involved in so much for the force in this opening half. Again, I think that was Tessman taking it forward. He loves the rough and tumble, Heath Tessman. Spinning it wide now. And back on the open side. Brian Stander takes it through. Pryor gets quick ball again. Tessman, another touch from him. Just offloads. Harrison Orr takes it into contact. Now it's Pryor again, driven back. Good tackling once more from the Wild Knights. In at half back. Clay Ewan, Marcel Brackie, the try scorer, looking to try and crawl a few metres forward. The ball comes out. Cleaned up again brilliantly by Leon Power. And it's just been lost there, and it will be a scrum to the Panasonic Wild Knights. And I'm sure, Rod, they'd be pleased to get their hands on the ball, because still they haven't had much possession as yet. That's right. The Force have done well holding on to possession. I think coming up to our attacking zone, we just need to be more patient there. Check. It was just a bit unlucky there. Heath Tessman took his eyes off the ball.
Doesn't miss many, and it was only because, as you say, Rod, he was ready to go. He was just thinking ahead. So they take their time again. Let's see if we can listen into Ian Pryor, the captain of the Force.
As soon as we take options to the line, like a waves, just using our backs there, they hold off for the moment. We're just trying that one eagle, and they're just shooting on that guy, shooting out the back, eh? Numbers at the line is the difference there. Sweet. Right here.
The voice of reason. How good is that to have the captain mic'd up live in the heat of battle? If you want to comment on that on social media, we'd love to hear from you. Use the hashtag @WSR. We just can't stop finding ways to bring the fans closer to this great sport. How good's that, Rod? He's always so measured.
He is, mate. He's a great captain. But what he's trying to say there is trying to say he wants to play through the defence. We're playing at the back again a bit too much, and Andrew Deegan's been caught a couple of times behind the game line. So what he's trying to say is we'll play through them, and then we'll go around and maybe second half.
So there we are in the middle as we await play to resume. We mentioned the Lima scale a moment ago. Brian Lima, of course, the Hall of Famer, World Rugby Hall of Famer. He played in 5 World Cups. The chiropractor, Ashley, you're right. Well, this is he playing for Samoa against South Africa, and it's Derek Hogard that he nails, bang, with an amazing, gee, how tough was that dive tackle there. So we call that 10 out of 10. There's been no tougher tackle in the history of the game. Derek Hogard was down on the ground, I kid you not, for 103 seconds. It took him that long, that's edited vision, before he got back up again. So that's the Lima scale, and that's how we measure every hit from there on in. Brian Standard had a 8.5 last week. That's as close as we've seen to the 10 of Brian Lima.
Let's hope we can get a 9 or 10 tonight.
Another kick ahead from the Panasonic Wild Knights as Lacey picks up, and again, just ankle tap, taken to ground just before the halfway line. Force again with possession, looking to take it forward. Tevin Ferris. Deegan, another good tackle coming in by the replacement, Shota Horie. The hooker who's come on. Power try is on now for the Panasonic Wild Knights. Comes to Berwick Barnes. Pass to the captain, Nunamaki. He again gives it to Poirier. Taken forward by Daniel Heenan. They're almost up to halfway. The power try still on. This time, Yatabe has taken the ground, makes the ball available. Uchida, short little pass from him. A little bit pedestrian at the moment, almost like a sevens match as they look to try and drag Force players into the contact to create some space. Barnes again, quick hands, taken the ground by Moreira.
It goes to what you were saying there, that comment, Ashley, that the Force are being very patient, Rod. You talked about that. We heard from Tim. That's the plan, and they're playing to it. As we look down the ground, you can see the Wild Knights have options, but no clear, decisive way to go. Here we are, trying to create something.
Oh, it's a great kick.
Stolen it, and this will be a try for the Wild Knights. You would think Kenki Fukuoka. What a try. Deegan tried to catch him, but as Scott Faber said, he is a speed machine. Managed to grab it in the air, landed well, and then just accelerated away into the corner.
Unreal try. We talked about him in the pre-game. He's got 27 tests, and he's the type of player that can make something from nothing. And then, just a great take, 50-metre run to score.
Well, they did create it. They had to work hard, and while the Force are patient, that was just class, wasn't it, in the end? And commitment and brilliance. How good that. Now, Ian Pryor, the captain, has got his team together just under the uprights. He said we can listen in again how they respond to that, now trailing 8-7.
Brad, you might want to get their kicking tee on. Tell them to get their kicking tee on.
Stay patient there on me, okay? That's great work, Deeks. Kick off. Keep those arms engaged, boys. One more, one indeed. Let's move forward. Get off.
So Van Humphries, the assistant coach, quick to get out there as well. So he's mic'd up, as we can see, that earpiece. So he's talking directly there to Coach Tim Sampson. So able to issue the instruction directly from the coach and then the captain. That's it, isn't it, Rod? They're the two main voices that you want to hear.
Well, that's it. We've had a big focus on when we get down there, we just want to hear two voices, the captain and Van. And here's a direct line from the coach.
And Barnes has struck that well.
There you go, Barnes in the game, and 12-7 after working so hard and getting everything almost on their own terms. Well, not quite on their own terms, but in a place where they wanted it, the Force now, once again, with a gap. It's been an enthralling first 21 minutes of this game, Game 7 of World Series Rugby. Western Force 7, Panasonic Wild Knights 12.
Good to go.
So Deegan to restart.
Backwards.
And kicked ahead by the Force. Is McGregor going to get one straight away? He is indeed. What a comeback by the Force straight from the kickoff. And McGregor, well, he's enjoying starting. He gets another try. He's finding this World Series Rugby all rather easy.
He's a special kid, that's for sure. You know, we've seen it in training week in, week out. He comes in and does things that no one else can do. And just then, he just done something what not a lot of other guys in the past would do.
That was so quick, so sensational. We've had to send Scotty Faber out there. He won't get there as fast as this. This is incredible, Rocket.
It is. A bit of soccer skill there, mate. He might have played a bit in his juniors.
Well, he's done a few things. Jack McGregor plays with such flair. He's brilliant. Scotty, have you caught him yet?
I'm out here, yes. Jake McGregor. So what was the message? What did he say in the huddle? Was it to hit back straight away?
Yeah, that's the focus there. We conceded points and we just want to get down to their half and put pressure on the points.
And you're doing that, but that was a great opportunity to try, mate. You've got to put that in the bag and keep it going.
Exactly, thank you.
Manners to boot. And here's the captain once again. He has had plenty of work to do. Can't miss from here, surely.
Definitely not. Back him in.
And he does add the 2 points, which gives the Force back the lead. And if those of you are wondering why it went to 12 points with the Panasonic Wild Knights, it was a power try because they kept possession, kicked it ahead, and it was claimed in the air by Fukuoka.
When you're ready.
So now, the Wild Knights have to do it all again. Kick-off just played back well in the air by Yamada, the winger. Getting involved, Uchida. Force again up very quickly, trying to close it down, and
You're in the way.
and he goes against the Force. Will Barnes go for the poles this time, or will he opt for the corner?
Going to take the 3 again, I think.
Not wrong.
No.
Gregor playing very well out there. Wallabies fullback of the future. Well, on the form he's shown at World Series Rugby, you'd think so, as we go for the line there and find it. And there's Robbie Deans, the coach of the Wild Knights, down on the bench. He coached you for a period of time, Rod, didn't he, at Wallabies level when he was Wallabies coach, and you were in the green and gold.
Yes, he was obviously at the Wallabies for a number of years, but I had him there when I was there, and I learned a lot from him. He's a very knowledgeable coach, and he's been with Panasonic for 4 years, and I think they've won 2 or 3 titles.
A chance now from the line out. Achida, quick ball again, driven forward by Inagaki. Good ball again, and it's Gunter who takes it into contact for Panasonic. Almost getting through the gap. That was good covering defence from Tevin Ferris. And the ball lost in the tackle, so it'll be a force ball at the scrum.
Great defence there. The boys are setting a really good line early, and we were able to take off the line really quick. And there's a great hit there from Harrison Hall.
That's it right there.
Once again, a moment to just try and catch your breath. It's not got any slower, that's for sure. What's Ian Pryor got to say in there? Again, a man of few words.
Okay.
It's interesting, isn't it? Ian's got his team sorted. There's a delay. Doesn't mean he has to fill the air. Let the boys think their way through it. I really like the way he goes about it. I know he's not captain coach, but you see so many captains with so much to say.
Early.
Okay, and Graham Cooper there with a little bit to say as well. This provides an opportunity, Ashley Morrison.
Does indeed, as force penalised for an early engagement. Achida gets quick ball, looking to spin it wide again. Good defence from Taefu for the force. But Panasonic have numbers there. They go again the short side, taken into contact, and going to ground is Shotohorie. Looping pass now out wide, and the force are a little bit short on numbers. It's going to be a foot race, but it should be Pryor who gets there, and he does.
Great coverage from Ian Pryor there. He got a long way.
And we're coming back, I think, for a penalty.
Between the 5
force player offside.
Okay, so tactically, the options here for the Wild Knights. Rod Davies, what would you do?
Well, it looks like they're going to go for the line here and try to go for a maul try. You know, they've set up here for a maul.
So they're going to back their pack.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Is this where we see Panasonic Wild Knights take the lead once more? Midway into the line, and the ball distributed to the captain, Shinsuke Nonomaki.
Keep it up, got to keep it up.
They've got to keep the right up, and they're driving them all forward.
Advantage.
Where is the ball?
No advantage.
5 blue pips.
I got it.
So penalty try has been awarded.
5 blue collapsing. Yellow card.
And a yellow card. I think Jeremy Thrush is the player who's been accused of collapsing the ball.
Collapsing.
Okay. So as we see this, Rod Davies, describe what's happened here. We get the penalty try, but why the penalty? We're looking for the number 5 in blue, Jeremy Thrush.
He's come through illegally, yeah, and he said he's off. He's just brought him straight to ground, I think. So with the maul, you've got to keep it on the feet. So yeah, it's unfortunate. He's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin for that.
Okay, so Jeremy Thrush heads to the bench. I'm not sure we'll get Scotty to have a talk to Jeremy right now. I don't think he'd be up to it. Of course, the penalty try means that there's no conversion, and the lead automatically goes back big time to the Wild Knights, or by 5, 19 points to 4, as there is put in the naughty corner, the naughty chair, just sits there to have a think about it. And when you do that deliberately, it's your last option to hope that the referee's not going to call it, or what's the thinking?
Well, I don't usually play in the engine room, but what I can believe what he was doing there, yeah, I think he just went straight through and had no other choice.
Okay. McGregor plays on quickly after the Wild Knights found touch.
Great kick.
So letting that run.
Great kick.
No option left for Morea. He had to just let that one run, otherwise he was going to be in a little bit of trouble. Jeremy Thrush was still arguing his case before he took his seat on the naughty chair.
That's a great kick from Andrew Deegan. Obviously, we've got one player in the bin now, so we want to play the game down their end and slow the play down.
Marks on me. 3.
Can the Force get over the try line again? It's well read and taken away by Gunter again at the back of the line out. A chance for Berwick Barnes to go to the boot. Long raking kick goes out just on halfway. Lacey thought about playing on quickly.
Speaking of Berwick Barnes, let's hear from Berwick. He's been a big fan of World Series Rugby. He even knows the lingo.
It's been thoroughly entertaining. I think obviously a couple of rule changes and obviously just the different coverage, I suppose, different commentators on field sort of stuff. It's brought something different to the table, which is great. I thought you know, that young winger went well, the Kalgoorlie kid, so played really well the other night. So there's a few you know, there's a few more guys, and I think that's great.
So big fan, Berwick, watching on Twitter in Japan, and he's over Clay, the Kalgoorlie kid. He's been loving it, and he, like everyone else, is feeling it out there. But it was interesting to hear from Berwick. That was at training, Ash Morrison, during the week. You were there as well. Just again, just really love what World Series Rugby is bringing. It's not saying it's for every game, every day. It's just a different brand and an exciting brand, and the players like it.
I think also the thing the players like is it's the new rules. They've got to think slightly differently, and so you have to actually, you're testing yourself mentally as well as physically in games, and Rod, you can probably back that up.
Well, that's right, mate. Especially the little things, exactly what you said. You've got to be quicker scrums, quicker line-outs, so you're constantly thinking.
I wonder whether Clay Ewan, if he sees Berwick at the bottom of a pack, says, get him out on the kid, introduce himself personally.
Stopping the ball coming out. Penalty awarded to the Force. An easy decision for Graham Cooper. And you were saying you went to the same school as Berwick Barnes, Rod.
Yes, he was a few years older than me. We were both old boys at Ipswich Grammar, and yeah, he was a great role model at school. And you know, credit to him now, he's still playing at the top of his game at 32, 33 years old. So
he's been in Japan a while now. 2013, I think, was when he went over there.
He's had a lot of success with Panasonic. They've like I said before, they've won three of the last 5 titles, I think.
Heath Tessman waits to put the ball in. We're just 10 minutes away from half-time. Force trailing at the moment against the Panasonic Wild Knights, but on the attack once more. Deegan, good loop behind in the back line. Set centre field on the 22-metre line. Force still a man down at the moment. Still looking to get back on level terms. Good run into contact by Cameron Orr. Over the top, but told to let go, and did so immediately, was Nunumaki. Pryor again going the short side, looking to spin out of the tackle was Lacey. Turns, makes the ball available. Pick and run from Brian Stander. He's going to get over there. Stander gets another try for the Force, and they're back on level terms with a conversion to come.
Great try, Brainard. He showed his determination there. No one was going to stop him that far out.
With the guys going for the ball at the break.
He loves an interview, Brian. He'll be very disappointed Scotty Favour's not out there chasing him. He's brilliant last week. He was all over it, and we were all over him. We're going to hear from Scotty in a moment with the cash kicker as we look at this once again. He's taken one of those players, there's so many on the list that have taken the most of this opportunity.
He has, mate, and he's no credit to him. He stayed here, and he's been here 4 years, and you know, to ride it out and be now where World Series is, it's a credit to him.
So we won't be able to hear from Ian Pryor either, because he is fully focused right now, wanting to put the Western Force back in front with this conversion. Scotty, we'll get straight down to you in just a moment, because you're with Mel Lay, who will be kicking for $10,000 from potentially a similar spot in not too far from now. And just a reminder at home, send through a message on social media using the hashtag WSR, and you too could be aligned with Mel and kicking for 10 grand of your own. But firstly, the captain for the lead.
Pryor strikes it well. He goes straight between the poles. He adds the 2 points, and the Force are back in front.
Scotty, down to you with Mel.
Thanks, Mark. I'm here with Mel. You got the last cash kick of the year, 2018. How do you feel?
I'm shitting myself.
Do you need a spare pair of pants?
No.
So, what are you going to do with the 10,000 when you get that kick over? Bit of a sympathy one. We've got Owen. He's over in Hawaii at the moment. What can you do with the money?
I probably will be on the flight straight out here. Head to Europe. Get some sunny weather.
Well, I see that you've got a bit of an injury there, so could the money possibly go to that? No, don't worry about that. No, Hawaii. Let's go to Hawaii. So you love the Western Force. Who's your favourite player?
14, Clay.
Clay, the Kalgoorlie kid. Here we go. She's got the money on you, Clay, and I think she's got the money on her getting the kick. Good luck today.
Thank you. I need it.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Thanks, Scotty Faber. And for those in Japan, to interpret that, Mel Lay is reasonably nervous just at the moment at the thought of kicking for $10,000 at half-time. We'll bring that to you. And in fact, I can tell you now that Ben James from Vincent, who's watching at home, he's got involved on Facebook. He is a 27-year-old disability support worker. Good on you. He's used the hashtag at WSR, and you can do. Ben James is riding the kick with Mel at halftime for 10 grand as well. The 20K cash kick only at World Series Rugby.
Good quick ball again for the Force. McGregor goes to the boot. It went straight into the legs of the Japanese player. Rebounds back to McGregor, who's taken the ground close to the touchline. Quick ball coming again, and Orr takes it into contact for the Force. Pryor, and Heiberg loves to break through a tackle. He's got through two, brought down at the third, and unfortunately just knocked forward by Tevin Ferris. But good movement again by the Force.
Geez, that was a good run by Chris Heiberg. He's looked dangerous every time he's had the ball. Just a bit unlucky there on that pop.
He was pretty low to the ground, wasn't he? And then just accelerated out from almost a sprint position.
Yeah, just Tevin Ferris there, but got a bit mixed up with the timing.
So 21-19, an injury concern out there might give us an opportunity to look back at one of the LB draft moments of the match. LB made by WA, so many to choose from. There was some cracking play out there, 3 tries to 2, including the power try, just the second ever power try, Rod Davies, with this.
Such an impressive leap, wasn't it? He just put his body straight on the line, straight over two of the boys there.
And that may well become the LB moment of the match. We'll look at a few of those throughout as Chris Heiberg's back on his feet and he's okay. Just the second power try. It took a long time coming, and it was a massive build-up to it, Ash, wasn't it? It really was. And then that kick that just brought that spectacular finish.
I think it was a very patient build-up, and that was the thing that impressed me about it, was the Wild Knights didn't panic. They knew what they were doing, and almost like they were playing sevens rugby. They just had the man spread out. They were keeping possession, making sure there were no mistakes. Maybe there's a lesson in that for other teams when they go for a power try.
That's it.
Good strong scrum picked up at the back, though, by Jack Cornelson. Into contact by, again, Gunter. Barnes spins another looping pass, and there's a little bit of space out wide now for the Wild Knights. Accelerating forward is Yamada, goes back infield, should be a try to the Wild Knights. It is indeed, and it's Uchida who goes over this time. Well, great movement of the ball by the Panasonic Wild Knights, and a beautiful pass infield. Uchida goes over, and they've got the lead back.
Oh, great ball movement, wasn't it? A clear direction there to run the ball. They didn't even look to kick in. Another great ball by Barnes here as well.
Well, there was a good break initially there by Matsuda, and then he found Yamada, and infield to Uchida. Pryor just couldn't snare his opposite number, and over he went for a try.
With Barnes' ball playing ability, he's able to throw a ball 20 metres, 25 metres, and put guys on the outside of the edge defender. So he's getting good pay out of that.
Wait for the conversion. The lead changing now for the 4th time as we look down the ground. Again, what a great angle that is, and just to the bottom left of your picture. The Western Force coming together. There's time enough for them to get one back, that's for sure. We talk about high scoring, 21-24. It's not even half time with the conversion to come, taking a long time on this one.
Barnes steps forward, kicks well, and the flags go up. He adds the 2 points. Western Force 21, Panasonic Wild Knights 26.
Okay, so there is still time, Rod Davies. A try, the difference there is it becomes 3 tries apiece.
What a half of footy. Just hope they can keep this up in the second half, mate.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. It comes into play that it's the end of a long campaign in World Series Rugby for the boys in blue. It'll help when Jeremy Thrush gets back on. That's just seconds away. And alternately for the Wild Knights, of course, they've got 6 players coming off the Sunwolves, have had a long campaign, but this is their first pre-season game.
Good to go.
So the restart, Andrew Deegan kicks high. Coming forward, claiming it well was Barnes. Offloaded it again to Gunter. And Barnes again gets nice clean ball, kicks ahead. Will be fielded by McGregor. Good bounce for him to grab, and he steps off his left foot again. Snared, lovely little ankle tap coming from Fukioka. Picked up though by Tessman. He loves to take on the forwards and does so once more. Pryor now, little pop pass from him. Driven forward by Cameron Orr. Orr makes the ball available. Pryor again. This time goes out to the right-hand side. Numbers there for Japan, but they're calling more numbers across. Have the Force got too many? Taifu takes it into contact. No one holding it. Ball comes back again quickly for the Force. This time it's Harrison Orr takes it into contact for the Force. And the whistle goes.
Look to play it quick.
Cheetah did get on with things quickly. Let's come off the Force player. Will be picked up and immediately grabbed in the tackle. Yamada was perfectly placed. The ball will come out for Panasonic. They spin it out onto the left-hand side. They've got numbers there. Happy to try and have a run is Sasakura. Driven into the ground by Taifu. Uchida.
The game is starting to loosen up. I think the Forces need to hold on here.
Again, they go the short side. Panasonic. And quite happy to spin the ball. Barnes accelerates into a gap. Closed down, didn't pop the pass. Makes it available once more. Wild Knights being stopped at the 22 at the moment, but got through one tackle. Into the 22 they go. Can they get another try? Comes out now to Nunomaki. Maki driven down. Stand up almost. They've got the advantage. Panasonic for a high tackle, so they kick ahead. And McGregor just kicks it forward, and they'll come back to take the penalty.
On the 15. Just here.
Thought they were going to go for a quick tap there, but looks like they might go for the line.
High tackle.
Barry Barnes needing a bit of a breather, I think. He's finding the pace a little bit quick. As Mark Doran said, they are in pre-season at the moment for the top league in Japan. Barnes touch. I'm surprised he didn't put it over the stand, get a little bit more rest.
And very importantly, as the siren sounds, so this is the final play. How's the time? Jeremy Thrush comes back on and is part of all of this. You'll see him just in the middle of the picture there. The All Black. He'll have plenty to say. His leadership crucial here.
And the Force are going to have to defend well. They conceded a penalty try the last time we saw a rolling maul from the Wild Knights, and they're doing well. Shota Horier at the back has the ball under his right arm. Still driving forward. Not broken as yet for Panasonic Wild Knights. They're about a metre short of the try line. Shota Horier goes over.
Try.
And the try has been awarded. A brilliant rolling maul from the Panasonic Wild Knights, and Shota Horier comes up with the ball.
A 12-man rolling maul there ended up. Only 3 players out at the backs. Hard to stop.
That's not what the Force were after at all. After the siren, Thrush back and all, again, the power of the Wild Knights pack, they've been keen to show it. You could tell from the early moments, Rod Davies, they were keen to put this on display. And the boys in black, look at that.
Yeah, great shape there from them all. Nice and low. It's been a great first half, plenty of points. That's the coach killer though, the one just before half-time.
Yep, so all of a sudden it's out to 10. Let's see if we can join Ian Pryor back in the huddle with the Force as Derek Barnes has got a moment for a smile as he waits for the tee. What have the Force boys got to say?
Doing well, boys, doing well. Doing well, boys, doing well.
Positive reinforcement from that man there. And it's not like some codes, the opposition don't attempt to put the kicker off.
And Barnes just slots that one through to add another 2 points. So as the players head into half-time, it's the Western Force 21, the Panasonic Wild Knights 33.
So it's a 4-try-to-3 game at the half. That really did hurt the Force, but great work from the Wild Knights. We go to the break looking at some of the highlights of World Series Rugby Game 7, the final game of 2018. When we return, Andrew Forrest will be in the commentary box with some details about World Series Rugby 2019. Don't go away. Okay, welcome back to World Series Rugby Game 7. This is cash kick time. This is Mel Latham Kalgoorlie, the 29-year-old physio! Oh no, there was no 10 grand coming Mel's way, unfortunately. And that means Ben James from Vincent. He's happy enough, I think. Ben James won't be winning 10 grand either. Bad luck, Ben. Bad luck, Mel. The cash kick been and gone for 2018. It did go off once. Owen Rose is still spending his 10 grand. We're inside the Western Force rooms now. They've got some work to do, trailing 21-33 by 12 points at half-time. A game that has seen 3 tries to 4. Now, in the box, Mr. Andrew Forrest, he is the mind behind World Series Rugby. I want to ask you later, can I keep this job? Because I'm loving it. I think everyone else is too. Congratulations. Did you honestly think it would be this successful when you first came up with this concept?
Yeah, look, I hoped. You dream things like this. You just look out at that crowd and you think, maybe everyone will come with us. Maybe they'll feel that tremendous sense of joy of a fantastic game and that feeling of injustice when the side was ripped away from the national comp, and for no reason, for just a spectacular side, a really great team and a really great crowd. And we thought, oh, we've got to change that.
Well, some of these highlights are from Game 1 there. Wolf Mother from Game 1 against Fiji. These are just some of the highlights. There are so many of them throughout this series. And the crowds. Now, you were out there. We've already seen you at the beginning of our broadcast. You were out there for a little while. You were just so keen to thank the fans because there are 100 in total. 100,000 plus have been here, come through the gates in the 7 games.
Yeah, wasn't that great? And to have that little boy in Dad's arms, and he was the 100,000th. And that is the future of the sport. That little guy going to training, dreaming about what might be, that's the future of our great game.
It's been highlights of plenty, including the power try. I'm going to ask you your personal favourite in a moment. But first, and there's Owen, by the way, who did get the 10 grand with the cash kick. I'd do a backflip too.
Yeah, exactly, so would I.
First, I want to ask you about 2019 in all seriousness. What can you reveal? What can you tell us? What will be happening next year when we look at this sport?
Okay, so you've seen the game of rugby really light up in Western Australia. We think the game can really light up in Western Sydney. We see Western Sydney as, you know, has such big population, a big rugby-loving, huge pool of people. Yep. Yet they don't seem to have had much support there. So we want to get in there. The World Series Rugby really wants to lift that entire population of rugby lovers up and say, hey, come and join World Series Rugby. Let's make this game burn.
So like Perth and WA, shunned by Rugby Australia, Western Sydney, you could argue the same, and you're going to come in and develop it.
Yeah, and look, I'm so excited about that because Western Sydney, they're a great bunch of people. They love rugby. They've had the same, if you like, short change for management and leadership from Rugby Australia. We would really like to get in there and grow Western Sydney rugby.
And I just have to ask you, $1 million first prize, that is fair income? We've seen that reported?
Yeah, look, no salary cap, $1 million first prize. I think Asia Pacific are just going to love this game. Sure. I think Asia Pacific, the timing is right. World Series Rugby is right for that whole huge region. And let's get Western Australia, let's get Western Sydney rocking and rolling.
So plenty to think about for 2019. Back to 2018, your favourite moment this year?
Oh, golly, there's been so many. I'd say probably Dancing with the Tongans. I mean, they were fantastic. All
we
that
knew you would say that. Oh, here it is.
It was so good. That was so much fun. And a really great group of people.
So that was after the game, and that was replicated with Fiji and Samoa. They've actually enjoyed the opportunity, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. I mean, they are so arced up. Their spectators are pumped. They really enjoyed World Series Rugby. They enjoy the entertainment, the atmosphere, and the great reception which you know they got. It's about rugby, but it's mostly about the fans. It's about absolutely having family entertainment, getting everyone involved. That's what we're doing.
And there's some of that entertainment now. Andrew, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for putting on the show.
No, look, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Western Australia. I'm so proud of the game of rugby in Australia. I just want to see it grow and spread all throughout the Asia Pacific.
Okay. Andrew Forrest there, the man, as we said, who is the mind behind World Series Rugby and committing to it in 2019 in a big way. We go to the break. Some of the highlights pre-match, the Indigenous dancers were out, and certainly we know that our visitors from Japan were out, and they lead at half-time by 12 points. We're back at NIB Stadium. We're inside the Western Force rooms, and they've got some work to do. The lead changed 4 times in the first half, and just on the half-time hoot-up, the Panasonic Wild Knights scored their 4th try, and that's why they have a 12-point margin right now, 33 points to 21. Ian Pry, let's join in with the captain.
Finish real strong.
Just missed him, as we've said a number of times. He doesn't give too many words away. He uses them wisely. There's a spot here for everybody, Rod Davies, in World Series Rugby. What do you reckon? What do you think at half-time?
Look, the first half was amazing. Tries all across the board. I just think, you know, with us, with 15 men back on the paddock, I think we can really go good this half and hopefully put them to the sword.
Yeah, good point. You forget about the yellow card and the effect that has, and it certainly did. They've had a chance to freshen up. The coach will have been reasonably heavy into their ears.
Yeah, look, you know, there's a few defensive mislaps, but 2 more tries as well. So. You know, that's something the forwards have got to fix up, and the back's got to keep carrying on with how they're going.
Whistle goes, and the second half underway as Andrew Deegan kicks long. Just short of the 22, it's knocked backwards by the Panasonic Wild Knights, who've been very patient. They were starved of possession early in the match, as dragged to the ground is Yamada.
Turnover's good.
Stolen.
Turnover is a good one by the Force. Pryan out, long pass to Deegan. Another looping pass, and it manages to come out to Clay Ewan. Ewan is thrown to the ground by Cornelson. Into contact it goes again. Heath Tessman pops the pass to Pryor. And again, this time it's the Force that throw it wide, and Brian Stander with 1 try to his name already. And he just to gain valuable metres. Heiberg again driving, good leg strength from the prop. Pryor again. Just short of the 22 at the moment. Taifu makes the ball available. Tessman, a no-look pass from him. Here's a really good chance, and over goes Marcel Bracchi. He gets a double for the Force, and the perfect start to the second half for the men in blue.
Exactly, Ash. That's a perfect start. That's what we wanted. 15 men back on the paddock. And a great try there. Double for Marcel.
Oh, how about that? He's absolutely flying. I think that's 5 tries for Marcel Bracchi in the series. No one's got near that. He was all over it, and Scotty Favour should be all over him, shouldn't he? Where are you, Scotty? I can't see you there, son.
Getting out there, mate.
Getting out there? You got to be faster than that. Marcel was certainly fast. As we have one more look at it with that down the ground camera. Scotty, go.
Marcel, 5 tries. Was that one on? Getting up on bring up?
Yeah, probably, yeah, enough with the try. We just got to keep going back to back.
Okay, so what was the message at half-time?
Just stay patient, stick to what we know. Yeah, the score will take care of itself.
Good work, mate. Keep it going.
There we go. It's happened. That's the theme, isn't it, with you guys? That's happened. We'll talk about that afterwards and celebrate it afterwards. We're about what happens next.
Exactly, mate. It's the next job, and well, from this kick-off, we need to exit well. But I think just from that try, the lead-up work from Heath Tefton was absolutely beautiful, and the line that Harrison all ran was, you know, second to none.
Ian Pryor misses the conversion, the first one he's missed tonight. So it remains Western Force 26, Panasonic Wild Knights 33. You really would have wanted him to get that one, Rod, just because it keeps the margin within reach.
Hopefully plenty more tries, Ash.
I'm sure there will be in this one.
Good to go, mate.
But of course, power tries change all that. It's still just one try. That's the beauty of this. It always keeps the ball alive, the game alive, and gives you a chance and another reason to attack as Marcel Brecky begins to do just that.
We're due for one as well.
Yes, that's true. You nearly got one, didn't you?
It was,
We've had some Twitter traffic, it's fair to say, Rocket, saying can we see that once again, because some of the Western Force fans really still think it went over the line. So we'll see if we can dig it up, and if we get an opportunity, we'll have a look at Rod Davies going on a big run that just fell short. Some would say you weren't quick enough, but I wouldn't say that.
A good tap down from the line out for the Wild Knights, and they look to attack from the halfway. Ochida, what a tackle. Oh, was he offside? Ball knocked forward in the tackle. Look at the celebrations with that hit. Not surprising either.
That's exactly what you want. When you're going to come out of the line like that, you need to shut it down. And that's exactly what he did. He got ball and man.
Oh, that's massive. What is it on the lever scale? 8.5. That is right up there. That is as big as we have seen from Cameron Orr. Oh, he's still feeling that.
Berwick Barnes' teeth are chattering at the moment.
Look at the look on Berwick's face. What's going on here? He must have thought it was the Kalgoorlie kid got him. Great work, Cameron Orr.
So the line out to the force on the 22. Good grab in the air from Leon Powell. And backwards. Again, Panasonic Wild Knights just spreading out across the pitch defensively. Trying to restrict any space with which the force can break forward, as Tessman again takes it into contact and rolls up to the 22. Deegan, little pop pass from him, goes off to Harrison Orr. And this time it is the force penalised.
Just need to get on him quicker there. A bit isolated. Don't give the Panasonic guys a chance to get on the ball.
We look down from the drone. NIB Stadium here in Perth, Western Australia. Another massive crowd. We know already that it's 13,500 plus, which has tipped it over 100,000 in total for the season. And here it is, Rod. Have a look. Rocket Rod Davies. What'd you do wrong here, mate?
Yeah, I thought I got over. At least it could have been a maybe like that's a rake. That looks like a rake to me. And then he maybe comes over and scores it, Brad Lacey, but wasn't to be, mate.
There you go. That's Rocket Rod. He's good in the commentary box. He's better out there, no doubt about that, than the outside backs.
Heiberg again takes it forward for the force, trying to get another try and reclaim the lead as Taefu sees a space. Lovely little pass out the back. Manages to find Lacey. Lacey makes it available. Pryor, short little pass again, taken forward this time by Thrush. They're into the 22. Well, coming in from the side, clearly will be a penalty against the Wild Knights. And looking to play on quickly was Yamada.
Okay, Berwick, just a message for you guys. Accuracy at the breakdown, please.
Like that gamesmanship there, Berwick Barnes not missing the opportunity.
Yeah, a bit off the ball action there, but I haven't seen it, but Berwick's might have seen something I haven't.
That's because you're looking with one eye, let's be honest. As is your job. Ashley, did you see it?
Blocking off the ball, wasn't he? This was a good break. Well, we'll see that later as Tessman drives towards the line. He's probably put his foot and touched the flag. Hasn't gone up though. Well, I thought his foot went on the line, and I think the Panasonic guys did too.
Here it is.
He does his foot as he's driven back here. The cameraman's probably a little bit too close. I thought his foot was on the line before he released the ball, and that was right below our commentary position.
Cameraman just got a possession, doing wonderful things.
Great tackle there by the number 9 from Panasonic. That's a set play. That's a set piece play that we've been trying to work on, but they've read it really well there.
Okay, so they've just read that in play.
Yeah, read it really well.
Keisuke Uchida to put the ball in.
There's the target. Not going to get.
Looking to run it straight through Deegan. Really running at him was Fukuoka. Penalty conceded again.
Oh, again, some big hits. Andrew Deegan just puts himself in harm's way all day, every day. He loves it, doesn't he?
He never shies away from contact. I'll tell you, he's always in the thick of it.
It was good play, though, by Taefu, staying on his feet, trying to rip the ball out, and that's why the Force had the penalty.
Load that one into the Lima scale for a little bit later and see how Deegs is going.
And again, now it's the chance for the Force to get a rolling ball going. We saw the Wild Knights get a try late in the first half. Stretch their lead. It's with Tessman at the moment. The momentum is still going forward. They've stopped there. Breakaway off the side. Picked up. Again, good defence from Panasonic. Spinning it short. Just got to touch the bottom of the post and it'll be a try. Advantage, yeah, being played by the referee. Deegan loops the pass out wide. And he's over. Lacey gets the try for the Force. The Kalgoorlie kid has done it.
Really happy there for Brad Lacey. Showed his strength, went over 2 players to score in the corner. Great try from him.
So Berwick Barnes can talk about Brad Lacey all he likes, but just give him the ball and watch him go. And if the conversion comes, we are back all tied up once again. There's the ball over the top. Oh, he loves it. He really does. That was spectacular to watch. And Rod Davies sitting alongside. You were up on your chair as well, enjoying that one.
Oh, great wingers try, mate. He's good ball there from Deeks to 20-metre cutout pass, and he did the right thing. Lacey just pinned the ears back and went for the corner.
Okay, so you can see the scoreboard there, 31-33. So if this conversion occurs, we're all tied up with 66 points on the board after 50 minutes of football. This is what World Series Rugby is all about. We said it coming in. World Series Rugby 2018 is going out with a bang.
So Pryor steps forward, strikes it well, it's coming round nicely, it's over, he's got the 2 points, we're all tied up at 33 points each.
How you going, mate? You're okay, but sitting up here, it's hard, isn't it, at the best of times, let alone when a game like this is going on. You'd love to be out there with your teammates.
Definitely, mate. I didn't think they could keep this up, but they've come out of the break and they're going bull at a gate, I tell you.
It is really brilliant to watch. It's been so exhilarating from the start. Reffed well by Graham Cooper, who now waits for the restart in just a second. Chris Heiberg to come back into play.
When you're ready.
So Berwick Barnes with the restart again. He kicks high and he kicks long. Marcel Bracchi was underneath it, but decided to leave it instead for the try scorer, Brad Lacey. And the Force decided to run out of their 22 with the ball. Deegan now goes to the boot, puts it high. Should be claimed rather easily in the end by Fukuoka. He does, and bounces off his left foot, accelerates, get past 2 players, but then eventually snared. That was interesting play. The Force were just trying to come over the top. The Japanese player just pushing them all aside as they came through.
Really good counter ruck there. Perfect. Okay. You got the boys the penalty.
Yeah. Next breakdown penalty goes to the bin. Who? Okay. Number 8. Number 6.
Diggs, you want to summit here?
So we've just heard the referee, Greg Cooper, say that the next time it will be a bin for Ben Gunter.
Henry, summit, let's go, eh? Hen, summit.
We don't need commentators anymore. We've got Graham Cooper and Ian Pryor doing the work and explaining what's going on and reading it before we can see it. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's such great images up close with the captain, who spent some time on the interchange bench in the last couple of games. In fact, Tim Sampson, the Western Force coach, Rod Davies, has rotated the entire squad off each and every game, just getting play into everyone. This is the grand final. You're playing to win this. They're all out there as long as they need to be.
Oh, definitely, mate. This has been a big build-up for this game. Obviously, through the World Series, we've had 2-3 weeks break, but you know, back-to-back. After last week beating Hong Kong, we've had a real big build-up for this, and you know, we're treating this like a grand final.
So Lacey grabbed. Good tackle coming from Matsuda, but still the ball remains with the Force. Heiberg taken low, hit the turf hard. Pryor now goes to the boot, just kicking it in behind. Will it bounce into touch? Well, no, it stayed in play, and it's going to be a freakish try for the Force. And Brian Stander gets a double as well. Anything Marcel Brackie can do, I can do too, he says.
What a kick from Ian Pryor. Just did a little top box kick and just got the bounce from hell for the Japanese winger.
Can't wait to have a look at that again in replay. But we might be able to get out to Scotty if he got his wheels on, but who knows the way he's travelling. We know Brighton Stander is moving beautifully, has been for the last couple of weeks. Here it is. Let's have a look at that bounce. Talk us through it.
Oh, you'd think it was going to go out, and it just did right angles. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. But we'll take it, mate.
But there's maybe the difference. Tevin Ferris didn't give up on it. You just have to play the ball until you see it over the line, Rocket.
Exactly. You've got to make your own luck, and that's exactly what Tevin did there. Always hunting in behind the ball for that thing to come like it did. It's probably 2% chance, and you know, we're going to score a try from it.
Good awareness from Tevin Ferris as well to find Stander over his right shoulder. As Pryor lines up the kick. Is to take the Force to 40 points if he nails it. Looks good, sails between the poles, and it is now the Western Force 40, Panasonic Wild Knights 33. What a start to the second half.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? It is incredible. And I know that's Chad Mullane. I know he's here. He's a Japanese, Perth-born, but Japanese comedian and actor shooting a television special here for J Sports. I think it will be screened back in Japan. So Chad's firing everybody up. We might see if we can stick the cans on. I kid you not, Chad was born just around the corner from here in NIB Stadium, is now making a huge name for himself in Japan. This game is getting bigger and bigger as well.
It is indeed, as the Wild Knights need to get the next score, you feel, to get anything out of this match. Just 3 tries conceded at the start of the second half as Barnes is barreled backwards. Good strong tackle again.
Come off.
And he's in pain, the ankle. Let's hope it's nothing serious. That doesn't look good.
No, it
Mate,
does not.
Fair bit of pain there.
It does not. It certainly doesn't look like cramp. That's for sure. There's some serious injury in amongst this. It's the ferocity of this sport. They are big men. They just go and go, and that's not what you want in a pre-season hit-outers. And Cam Moore was very quick to put the hand up as well. Great to see that spirit feeling for Berwick Barnes. He's one of the most popular blokes in world rugby. Was when he played and still is.
Yeah, you never like seeing that happen in a game, but like you said, it happens, and you know, we've got to carry on with it. But Berwick is a very popular man all around the world through the rugby circles, and hope he's all right.
Of course, you don't want it to happen in a pre-season game, which is what this is. They've got their big competition coming up. It's worth mentioning as well that Panasonic's first actual overseas game was in 1968, so it's 50 years ago. They went on their first tour to South Korea, played some university teams and company teams, and now they find themselves here playing World Series Rugby 50 years later.
Again, we get a look at the leadership in the middle with play breaking for a moment with this injury to Berwick Barnes, and the medicos are getting out to him right now. I mentioned before Andrew Deegan and an amazing hit on the Lima scale. We've put it through the machine. What do you reckon, Rod?
Oh, that's got to be at least an 8, hasn't it? Oh.
6.5. We're still calibrating the machine. We're just working it out. I agree with you. But maybe 6.5 was what it is.
Have to get the footprints off Deegs' chest.
Look, he's fine. He's fine. He's wearing the scars still from the Wallabies trial match a couple of weeks ago where he was called up. That was fantastic for the Western Force and World Series Rugby. And of course the Wallabies play here in Australia tomorrow night in Sydney against the All Blacks, the Bledisloe Cup. What a cracking occasion that will be. 40-33, the Western Force lead. Amazing scoreline, 21-33 it was at half-time. And here's one of the reasons that it's changed. An LB draft moment of the match. LB made by WA. 3 tries to no score in the second half so far, and here's one of them.
Yeah, great lead-up there, work by Heath Testament. Just nice little pop to the right, and a great line by Harrison Hall. And again, Marcel Braki finished another try.
LB draft made by WA. So play soon to resume here. There's Marcel looking over at that scene, which is Berrick Barnes coming off on a stretcher with, well, there's no other way to say it. It's a serious ankle injury. We certainly wish him all the best, and isn't that great? Great support here in Western Australia. An educated rugby crowd making plenty of noise for the former Wallaby, of course. A great player, as mentioned, in his own right. And, well, his season in the top league in Japan, I don't know how much of it there will be.
Paul Berrick Barnes has made his way from the pitch. Of course, made his debut at 21 in the first pool game of the Rugby World Cup against Japan. Good scrum by the Wild Knights, and they're looking to break forward the replacement fly half. Takaya Yamasawa immediately involved. Driving over the top. Good play by them once more. Now taken into contact by Yatabe.
I see the little halfbacks on Tanaka, Japanese legend.
Ball's going forward. Forward pass.
Well, you saw those shots of Andrew Deegan. I was thinking, if we've got the Brian Lima scale, surely we should have the Mike Catt Award, because Jonah Lomo walked over him, and surely Deegan got walked over there.
Get a look at it on these wonderful slow-mo ISO replays. Brings the game right into our face.
This time, scrum to the Force. Just that break with the injury to Berrick Barnes, just slowing the momentum a little bit, as you'd expect. Be a real test for the Wild Knights, how they react.
Not staying straight.
And it's the Wild Knights penalised for driving through an angle, not driving straight. So the front row getting all the plaudits for the Force.
Munster. No. Oh, yeah, off the line out here. Munster!
So calling the plays with Ian Pryor. Mentioned Chad Mullane, the Perth-born Japanese comedian. There wouldn't be many of those around. I think Chad's got the cans on now. We can say good day. Chad, you're down there with one of your countrymen.
Yeah, sure am. どうもこんばんは、チャトです。
こんばんは、稲垣です。
Yep, this is our player Inagaki-san from the Wild Knights.
Yes.
And どうですか?
そうですね。今ちょっと難しい試合になってますけど。
Yeah. He said they're having a bit of a tough time out there.
あと20分あるので、チームが何とかしてくれると思います。
But we've got 20 minutes to go, and he thinks the team will do something for him. それ稲垣さん、人任せですね。
もう変わっちゃったんで。
Yeah, well, he's not going to get back on there again, apparently. And so this is a big chance for you to, I guess, make all the World Rugby League fans laugh. 何かボケをお願いできますか?
We might leave Chad there. We just have to believe that what he said is true. Rod, you spent some time in Japan. We'll get to you later to tell us whether he said that or not.
Good break forward again by the Force. Quick ball to Pryor. Testman involved again. Gets up to 5 metres from the try line. Picked up and driven forward again by Leon Power. They're going to come the short side. Heiberg steps off his right foot. Goes to ground. It's still alive. pick and drive just short of the line again for the Force. They need to get the ball out.
Just try.
And it is a pick-up and try scored by Jeremy Thrush. Well, he's made up for his time in the sin bin. Thrush gets a try, and the Force now get their 7th try of the match.
The lead-up work again by Heath Testman. Just puts his body on the line week in, week out. Getting go forward for the forwards. And again, Thrushy there just picked up the ball. You probably tell me tomorrow he ran 100, but I think it was about a metre.
So Jeremy Thrush joins the list of try scorers. I don't think he's scored one yet. I reckon he's just joined the list. It's taken him a while to get there, that's for sure. But he's there now. Scotty, have you got the big man? Go, mate, go.
Jeremy, mate, retribution for the sin bin.
Oh yeah, I had to make up somehow. I think Tess and the other boys did all the work, but 50 metres out over the dotted line, pretty good.
Great work, mate.
He's a big man, got a smile on his face, and you'd hope he had a smile if he came near you out there. An enormous character. Of course, it's been a great part of this, getting out there to talk to you guys. It's tough out there. The last thing you want to do is talk about yourself. I get that. Well, everyone wants to talk about their teammates.
As Pryor slots another 2 points, it's the Force 47, the Wild Knights 33, and they're stretching a good lead now in this second half.
Plenty of action in this game. The fans are getting what they paid for, I tell you.
Keep playing down there.
4 unanswered tries.
And again, we heard, we could hear Ian Pride just about talking about what's next, always thinking, hey, the Wild Knights need to come up with something that's next. They scored just after the half-time hooter. Haven't seen them since.
We might see him here. Quick tap, possibly.
Well, that's what they wanted to get on with, play quickly, but we're annoyed with Clay Ewan for taking the ball away from the spot.
Can confirm that Jeremy Thrush joining the list of try scorers. Now 18 players from the Western Force over the 7 games that have hit the scoreboard.
The Wild Knights kick for touch and take themselves down into the left-hand corner. Good kick coming from Yamasawa. Is this where they make their charge? Mexican wave goes around the ground. Why they're doing that? There's plenty of entertainment on the pitch.
You don't like the Mexican way, Ashley?
Yeah, you go back too.
I just don't see the point of it personally.
Down with these. Now, I was going to call you a Pom. That might not be right. English, Welsh, Pom. Proud of it?
Australian. I've been in Australia a long time now, 31 years.
The accent says otherwise. So does the not liking the Mexican wave, Ashley.
Kick clear by the Force. And fielded this time well by Fukuoka. Tanaka to Yamasawa. Matsuda hasn't really had a chance to run today. Would love one, I'm sure, just stepping off the left foot of Noguchi. And now a chance for Fukuoka again. He had to run around the back. There's no space out wide at the moment for the Japanese Flyers, and they're having to cut around the back to try and find some space as Miller drives forward for Japan, or the Japanese side rather. Yamasawa again, this time there's a little bit of space. He's shaped to go inside, manages to gain valuable meters for the Wild Knights. It's still alive, now taken forward by Hirano. Tanaka again to Miller. Miller takes it into contact, drives on again. Good support by the Wild Knights forwards. Yamasawa spins it. Oh, great driven back. Moriya did well to keep his faculties together there as he was absolutely hit hard, and into the turf he went. And there's a break through the middle. Miller's going to get there. And it is a try for the Wild Knights. Just sheer determination from Craig Miller, and they close the gap.
Yeah, that try kind of come from nothing. The Force was showing really good composure in the defensive line, but that try was just from the base of the ruck, and he's picked it up and he's gone 20 metres.
Well, they needed that one, that's for sure. 47-38. Let's listen to the Western Force captain. Okay, the tough tackles I think might have broken Ian Price. Mike, I'm not surprised. Gee, that'll cost Andrew Forrest. You better factor that in for the 2019 expansion of the game. You know what he's saying. What's the message now? Because you've broken them in half almost, but here they come.
Yeah, like I said before, they showed really good composure in the defensive line, so I don't think they need to change much. That try come from a bit of a ruck drop ball. Then he picked it up and he's gone 20 metres to score. So I don't think they've got to change too much up.
So Yamasawa on for Berwick Barnes, looking to add the 2 points, and he's pushed it the wrong side of the post. So it's still a 9-point margin in favour of the Force.
Here it is. Strolled through.
Yeah, it was a different one. Just picked it up at the base of the ruck.
I think it's lucky we couldn't hear Ian Pryor. He wouldn't have been saying nice things, particularly when it's left to him to do the dirty work at the end. It was a massive hit from Clay Ewan, the Kalgoorlie hit just a moment ago. It means nothing when they walk through like that.
So the restart fielded well by the Wild Knights. Ran there trying to stop the ball coming out is Jeremy Thrush.
Release 8.
It's going to be the Wild Knights ball. Morea. Again running straight into Tevin Ferris, who's been really strong for the Force at the breakdown throughout this match. And good ball, and Tanaka just a little chip over the top. Heiberg grabs it, Thrush is there in support.
Did really well to get back there, Chris Heiberg.
Deegan now with a little kick ahead, a little grubber. It sits up nicely for him. Spins it infield, but unfortunately straight to Yamasawa, who goes to the boot, looking to get it upfield and away from danger as Bracky comes back. Scott McGregor inside. Bracky decides to go to the boot as well.
16, hold. Stay.
And just outside the D, sorry, there, outside the 22 from Yamada.
No, my fault. Actually, I was just going to ask Rod Davies, when do you start to protect the lead? 65 minutes, 47-38, you've got a 9-point gap, and the option was there as Ashley called in board, but he went down the line. They're not in protection mode yet.
I don't think you can be against these guys. You know, it's been try for try the whole game. So I think they're just going to play at the right end of the field, and then hopefully just keep scoring points when we need to do it.
Scotty Faber down on the Western Force bench as Chris Heiberg comes towards him. Scotty.
Okay, Cam, mate, great game out there. What did Van say at halftime? Because the Force forwards have come out in the second half and absolutely blistered.
Yeah, I think it was just flicking the switch. I mean, we got a few tries in the first half, and it was almost as if they came back and scored straight away. So it was just about nullifying those sort of silly errors on the kickoffs and receipts, and just getting a good exit and holding the ball. And I think we lifted the tempo, and it was all about a bit of attitude and that stuff that doesn't require any talent. It's just all about us getting to our feet and doing everything we can for the team.
You talk about tempo. Tempo is made with champion teams, keeping it for the full 40 minutes. Can we do it? Can the Force do it for the full 40 and lift that tempo?
100%. I hope we finish strong now. I mean, we've built the phases before in the game. We just need to keep hold of that ball. And I think our D's probably kept us in this game. It's just a strong line, keeping them off the ball and getting those turnovers that we need.
And, mate, in defence, we've got the Lima scale. We had you up there as 8.5 on your hit, mate. How did it feel?
It was good. It was good to get some good contact out there, but half a second slower and he stepped me and I'm on the ground. So it's lucky, very lucky.
Hey, good read. Good luck tonight.
Good stuff, Scotty Faber down there with Cameron. You just take it when you can get it. Don't explain what might have happened. It didn't happen. You nailed him.
Oh, exactly. He rushed out of the line, and thank God he got the right decision.
Good looping pass out wide for the Panasonic Wild Knights, and they're trying to break forward now. Ball comes to Cornelson. Cornelson brought to ground. Good tackle from Tevin Ferris. Still alive, though.
Blue, blue, blue.
A little bit of a gap, and he's burst through that gap, and it will be a try. Takeya Yamasawa gets another one, and right under the post, they should get within cooey of the Western Force. This should be an absolute certain conversion.
Tit for tat, isn't it? Threw a good dummy there and went straight through. Got the Force, were a bit disorganised at the back, and it was an easy stroll to the line.
It just opened up just a little too easy. It's a game of momentum, isn't it? It's a classic game of sport, this, but the one thing that keeps happening is scores after scores. I'd like to tell you how many tries it is each, but I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tries to 6. 68 minutes gone. Heaps of this game to go.
There is, mate, and who knows how many more can there be?
Well, Yamasawa looking to convert his own try from right in front of the posts. And that will bring us back to a 2-point ball game as he converts. 47 plays 45. Still plenty of time left as the crowd comes up on the main stand.
Oh, look at that number. Now, we talked about 6 figures. What about that? 14,697 tonight's attendance. And there you go, 104,348. World Series Rugby 2018. That figure in 7 games of rugby union here in Perth, Australia. That is just brilliant. A round of applause from everyone involved to everyone out there. Absolutely brilliant from the fans, from start to finish.
Well, the restart from the force, grabbed, going straight to Grant. Are we going to see the Wild Knights come back? Good drive again, this time from Tom Maloney, who's on. Maloney, of course, was involved with the Rebels when they played against the Force in World Series Rugby earlier this year. McGregor goes to the boot. He's put it straight up in the air, pretty much. Grabbed well. Underneath it was Masakitani. And a lovely little kick ahead.
It's a great kick.
Wiedemeyer watching the game at a wedding. That's dedication.
Love it. It depends what role you're playing at the wedding as to whether it's dedication, Ashley, or something completely different. But that's the commitment that we've seen from the fans and also the viewers. And we've mentioned it a lot, and it's genuine. It's been a great partnership with Twitter that's allowed World Series Rugby to go all the way around the world, that's for sure. Hey, I've got a quick update, as we might have, we do have an injury concern. I've got an update on Berwick Barnes. A high ankle strain is the word coming out of the Wild Knights rooms. Now, that's much better than we thought when it occurred. It looked very much like a break, didn't it? So that still could be serious and be maybe missing a couple of weeks, but the Wild Knights have 2 weeks, I think it is, Rod Davies, before they play.
Yeah, well, let's hope for Berwick and the Wild Knights that he's got out of that not too bad.
Yeah, and ankle strains can be actually a bit longer than a couple of weeks. Sometimes you're looking at 6, aren't you, with ligament damage?
Yeah, especially the high ankle sprain. You're looking at more of a 6 to 8 week injury.
So line out to the Force. Wild Knights, as we go into the last 10 minutes, needing another try to steal the lead once more. It's been a really strong performance by the Force in the second half. Pryor goes to the air. Trying to get on the end of it, but missing it completely was Fukuoka, and it's the Force that picked it up through Kieran Longbottom. And that's a good kick.
Another great kick.
Touch.
He's been on tonight, Ian Pryor. A couple of those little box kicks he's done have really worked out well.
Robbie Deans watching on from the side. I'm sure he'll be concerned about Berwick Barnes, but he'll be probably a little bit relieved that it's not a more serious injury.
Yeah, I think he would have got that report quicker than we did, do you think? It might have come from Robbie himself. He would have been in the room saying, is there anything I can do to help? Substitution.
There we go. Hard night at the office, and one out taken quickly. Tanaka just delaying for a second. Yamasawa kicks, it will be kept in play. Clay Ewan spins it, McGregor looks to advance and offloads to Lacey. Lacey brought to ground by Morea. Into contact it goes again. Pops out the back to Pryor. Deegan. Bracky, good offload. Unfortunately, it didn't stick in the arms of Clay Ewan. So we'll come back for a scrum for the Wild Knights.
Maybe just had to hold his feet there, Clay. They had about a 4 on 2, so, but we're still in a good position here.
players getting their hands on the ball. And Cameron Orr mentioned it a moment ago that the difference between success and failure is small.
Just checking the jaw there. Hopefully nothing too serious with Tevin Ferris, but Wild Knights ball. They've got 8 minutes to snatch a victory. Good shove from the force. It's gone past the one.
Another great scrum. Been working hard all week, the forwards, and I think that's about the 3rd scrum penalty of the night, and they've thoroughly deserved.
There's quality there. Kieran Longbottom coming off the interchange bench for the Western Force. That gives you an idea of the quality of this lineup. There's no exhibition about this game when you look at the teams and look at the score and then the actual quality of play like that.
Well, there's nothing the front row like more than that, is there? Pushing the others back. It's a whole different world in there.
It is, mate. Something I don't know anything about.
I think I played one game as hooker when I was about 7 years old and went never again, thanks.
Yeah.
So Pryor looking to stretch the Force's lead. Currently sitting at 2 points. Take them past the, or up to the 50-point mark if he can nail this one.
He's a long way out. Monstrous kick.
There's a hush around NIB Stadium. Quite a routine before every kick, the wiggle of the backside. Struck it well, it looks good from where we are. And the flags go up. Another 3 points, which means 50 points for the Force. The bench enjoyed it.
Also think our reserves have brought something on as well. They've come on, they're fresh blood, and they've really turned the game a bit.
How about that scoreboard? Up until this game, in the 6 previous, the average total points had been 50. The Western Force, for the first time in this series, have just brought up the half century, and the opposition's got 45, and there's still 6 minutes to go.
Yes, indeed, and that was knocked forward by the Force, so scrum in a really good position for the Panasonic Wild Knights. This is their chance now to mount a really serious attack, especially with just over 5 minutes left in the match. These are the moments you really want to show what you can do in the big games.
Yes, but hopefully we can get another scrum penalty here. They've been all over them since they got on.
5, 6.
Kieran Longbottom, you can bet your bottom dollar he'll be pushing hard. Again, it's a good shot, but better scrum this time from the Wild Knights. Tanaka went on a run himself. Yamasawa taken to ground. Tanaka, out it goes, and good again, defensive play from the Force. Still available though, pick and drive from the Wild Knights, and the man who scored their try, Craig Miller, to start their resurgence in this second half. Morea leaves it behind, and it just lost forward, but the advantage goes to the Force as they kicked it forward. Yamasawa spun it wide, and again there's great defensive play. The Force players come out really quickly, giving the Wild Knights nowhere to move. Yamasawa. Again, good tackling as Noguchi hits the turf. Tanaka, quick hands through Miller. Yamasawa, making sure they don't lose possession. Deegan is in there, trying to steal it for the Force. Tanaka seems to have just so much time when he's at the base of the ruck just to make his decisions. It's all about keeping possession for the Wild Knights at this point in the game. They are going backwards at the moment. They were close on halfway, so good defence again as Bracchi just closes down the gap. Another great hit going in.
Great tackle.
Maybe a steal. No, the ball's still available for the Wild Knights. Now a chance. They've got numbers out wide. They've got some speed as well. And just slipping as he looked to make the handoff was Fukioka. So they've got to do it all again. This must be about the 10th or 11th phase for the Wild Knights. Really good possession rugby by them. Yamasawa did well to hang on to that. He's going to be taken to ground. Strong tackle from Clay Ewan. Still makes the ball available. Shape to kick. Again, just trying to get forward. Fukuoka just bouncing off the ground and gaining another valuable couple of meters for the Wild Knights. Tanaka. Short pass. Miller.
Back for the penalty.
And you can see how hard that was. All the players breathing pretty heavily.
They must be absolutely spent.
Kieran Longbottom taking a long time to get up. In fact, he's still not up, only just now. We know the injuries that have hampered his World Series Rugby campaign. There is the big boy. It's going to take a lot to get him off, that's for sure. He's so desperate. This is elite sport at its very, very best, ladies and gentlemen. 50 points to 45, World Series Rugby Game 7. The Panasonic Wild Knights really having a crack at this. It might only be a pre-season game, but they are not going home without the W.
Well, that's right. They come here to win, and we're treating it like a grand final. So these are the championship minutes, and this is what it's come down to.
I just wonder whether he would have been happy with that kick, Yamasawa. It's on the 22, whether he would have liked a few more meters. Robbie Dean's on his feet.
Coops, just look at black space.
And obviously the message going out as to what they want to do. Yordi Kaji getting ready to come on. Again, good defence from the force. Ball has been lost forward in the tackle. So it will be a scrum if there's no advantage to the force. Pryor arriving a little bit late. Comes to Braki. Advantage is over now. Goes straight down the throat of Jack Cornelson, and now a chance to break. What a tackle that was. Good offload though, managed to find Shota Horie. Yatabe takes it into contact. Tanaka again spins. Yamasawa, a little short offload, but it's still available for the Wild Knights. Cheers for the force going around NIB Stadium. They're realising that they're having to defend valiantly in these final minutes. Just 2 minutes left on the clock. And the Wild Knights looking for a try, and if they can convert it, snatching a victory right at the death of this game. Yamasawa again stepped off his left foot, goes into contact for the Wild Knights. Tanaka, calm as you like. Goes to Miller, who was absolutely closed down the minute the ball came to him. Great defence, just a little pick and drive, and trying to steal the ball is Marcel Braki. Told to release by the referee. Still ball with the Panasonic Wild Knights. Again, this is really tough work for them, having to work so hard, phase after phase. And the defence is really solid from the force.
And it's come down to the final minutes. Who would have thought?
Well, it's been one of those games, Rod Davies. It's been an absolute cracker.
It deserves this.
Short pass from Miller, but again, great defence coming forward from Longbottom. They've gained about a metre. Those pick and drives are not going anywhere at the moment. Just sheer determination from the force players to not allow the Wild Knights a metre, let alone half a metre. Moreira takes it into contact again, goes to ground. Tanaka is there. Not many options. The hooter goes. The ball's still alive. Miller for the Wild Knights trying to get it forward. The force trying to close it down. They can't afford any mistakes now. Yamasawa offloads it. Little bit of space created by Matsuda. Off to the side, it goes into touch. And that is the ball game. The Western Force have hung on with valiant defence in the final minutes to see them victorious by just 5 points.
How good was that?
Panasonic Wild Knights. What a game.
How good to finish World Series Rugby on a win and against a quality opposition. We couldn't have hoped for anything better.
On a win, Rocket, get more excited than that. 50 points to 45, 7 tries to 6 to wrap up the series. You couldn't have written that script. The Panasonic Wild Knights, fantastic. Don't worry about that team. They're going to go places in top league in 2018. Don't worry, they'll be tremendous. But how about this team? Outstanding, led by Ian Pryor. And I think Scotty Favour's got the skipper right now.
Here we go. Stitchy, mate, what a game, mate. Captain, you're nice and calm and collected, but woohoo, mate. What a game.
Yeah, mate, pretty hard to describe, obviously. Big shift from the boys, and to come out, entertaining game and score heaps of points, and obviously the other team getting a few points as well was really enjoyable. And yeah, to guts out that defensive effort there, 5-10 minutes at the end was really pleasing.
You can see the crowd, they just loved it. The way that you did guts it out, you put it to them, and this Panasonic team, full of internationals, mate, you took it to them. Well done.
Yeah, mate, they're world class, and obviously the crowd got us over the line. I mean, 15,000 people is pretty special. It's been like that every week, so we're very fortunate to have the Sea of Blue, and it was just nice to be able to put on a performance that they're proud of and play rugby that the WA community are proud of.
Mate, this has been a great competition. You've been a great leader, mate. Hopefully it goes into 2019. Twiggy's already talked about it. Mate, you guys excited for the next adventure?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We can't wait to see what happens. And obviously now we're on to the NRC, which is pretty exciting, but it's been an unbelievable inaugural World Series Rugby, and we're very proud to be part of it, and to get the win today has been unreal. So, yeah, pretty happy.
Mate, you're a champion. Go enjoy it.
Great work, Scotty and Ian Pryor. He and his team champions World Series Rugby 2018. A 5-point victory to the Western Force. To Rod Davies and to Ashley Morrison, thank you very much for your work today. Absolutely brilliant. But don't go anywhere. I'm going to go out and join Scotty, and we're going to talk to Robbie Deans and find out a little bit more about how this one went down. It was thrilling and high scoring to the very, very end. What a game that was. Tries, they just kept coming and coming. It was quite a margin, 33-21 to the Wild Knights in the first half. That turned around, and then the Wild Knights came, nearly got there. 7 tries to 6. The Western Force winning by 5, celebrating with their fans right there. And now we have a legend of rugby union, Robbie Deans, who hasn't quite got the smile on his face that he did when he spoke about this at the start of the week. Great game. You didn't quite get there, but thanks for coming.
Oh, great to be here. It was a great finale. Congratulations to the Force. You know, they played some very good rugby. It was a great hit out for us in preparation for our season, and the whole event was superb, to be frank.
It is a good event. I just need to ask you, Berwick Barnes, because we feel for him, we feel for you. How is he?
Well, we won't know till he gets a scan, but yeah, it looks like it might be a significant injury, but hopefully no break.
Robbie, Twiggy's talked about the World Series Rugby. He's on the cards now for 2019. All week you've been very pro World Series Rugby. What do you think of the spectacle tonight? Has it been great?
Well, take a look, just listen to it. You know, it's a credit to Andrew and the whole organisation in terms of what you put together here, and the public who have supported it. And you know, it was a great night of rugby.
Yeah, that's right. If we get games like that week in, week out, we can see not only the Western Australian public, the Western Sydney public, but the Asian public coming in and really enjoying rugby. Is that something of the future?
Oh, look, they'll love this, and I understand that's the concept. You'll take the whole package everywhere the World Series goes. There's no doubt they'll love it.
Speaking of crowds and numbers, we were throwing around the numbers, struggling to keep up to the scoreline. How about these for numbers? 104,348 fans through these gates and filling these stands in the 7 games. That's an average, I'm not very good at it, but about 14,000 or thereabouts. Who would have thought that was possible?
Well, the best thing is they've enjoyed what they've experienced, so you know they want to repeat it. So it's been a great promotion prior to the World Series even kicking off. People will have witnessed it, and I'm sure they'll want a piece of it.
There's some of the young stars that are there enjoying or giving back to those fans. Robbie, I know you're, I was going to say only the coach. You're the coach, you're not the chief executive, but you're a very powerful man. The Panasonic Wild Knights have been in some really fruitful discussions, I understand, while they've been here in Perth and before that with Matt Hodgson and Andrew Forrest. Are you going to be part of World Series Rugby in 2019?
Oh, look, from a playing perspective, the boys would love to be, but those decisions will be made by the appropriate people. Yeah, we hope to be. The boys have enjoyed this week, and there's Andrew. Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to get a taste of it if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, we might let you go and say hello to Andrew, as we thank you once again for turning up and playing such a great brand. In fact, Andrew's just going to come in and say good day right now.
Mate. Oh, that was the most...
We were just saying, Andrew, how good these guys play.
Yeah, they are so skillful. They are such a wonderful team. I just want to introduce myself to your players. They're really good men.
Yeah. Oh, they're a great group of men, no doubt. They enjoy their rugby and they've enjoyed this week, so thanks very much.
My goodness, they are skilled, mate. We were terrified. They are a great side. I'm really looking forward to playing you guys hard. Right?
Have you got a pen, Andrew? You can sign Robbie up for 2019 right now.
We're going to sign him now. Good on you, Robbie.
Robbie, thank you very much. We'll let you go and see your plays. Hopefully Berwick's okay and look forward to seeing you involved in the top league. Good on you.
Good man, thank you.
Robbie Dean's there. What a champion of the game he is. They licked their wounds to a degree, the Wild Knights, injury-wise, that's for sure, but gee, they turned it on. Now, the LB moment of the match. There were so many to pick from, Scotty Favour. Don't go away, mate. LB draft made by WA. This is what we went with. Only the second power try of the season. Kenki Fukuoka,
that's what we talked about at the start of the game. They've got damaging wingers. It was an opportunist try, but it was a great lead-up work from Panasonic to get the power try and the second power try of the World Series Rugby. So, well done to Panasonic.
I didn't get a chance to ask Andrew if you got a job next year. Sorry, mate, we'll have to do that later on. I hope so. We don't want to miss this. We want to be back. And just behind us here, you can see it on screen. This is now the coach of the Western Force, Tim Sampson, thanking the fans on behalf of he and all of the players.
The last game there where Andrew said that you guys are the real heroes sitting in the grandstand. Guys here just... They do what they love, and this is their job, but without the support of what we have here at NIB, we wouldn't be able to defend like that we did in the last 5 minutes. So it's a big thank you to all the supporters that have turned out through World Series Rugby. Your support's unbelievable, and my very first day here was the fan day at headquarters there, and I heard some pretty remarkable stories and touched my heart straight away, and to walk down from the grandstand and see the smiles on many faces, it really pulls on the heartstrings. So thank you very much. It's been a wild journey since Fiji. It's been very fast, and we can't thank you enough for your support. The team at HQ, led by Nick Marvin, they've worked their butts off, and it's a credit to Nick and how they pulled everything together so quickly and put on such a fantastic show.
So there we go. That's the coach, Tim Sampson, the captain there, Ian Pryor, and all the players as they say goodbye to their fans for the last time this year. It's been absolutely fabulous. Scotty, great to have you part of it. It really has, and what a fitting way to go out.
Oh, great way to go out. What a great game of rugby, and these guys deserve the victory. Bit of emotion there, but this is what we've got to look forward to next year. This is going to be awesome.
So there you have it. A brand new competition has taken a bold new look at the age-old sport of rugby, and the future, it's brilliant. 2018 has been great fun, as you can see. World Series Rugby 2019 will be even better. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the Western Force, the stars of the show. All the best, and bye for now.